get a little familiar.
Unfamiliar.
All right, too familiar.
Earl, I don't know what to do, but there's something funny about you and your connections with the theater. If you don't mind, I'll go home.
All right, I'll take you.
Thanks, I prefer to go alone.
I'm going to take you home.
I don't want to ever see you again. Would you call a cab?
Here she is, officer. She stole my wallet. I was dancing with her ship.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Why, you're only a cheap little crook.
He's just salty.
I'll handle this. I'll take care of that. So, you don't know anything about his wallet?
No, absolutely not.
That's it.
But how did that get there?
Now, that's something you're going to have to tell us. You and I are taking a little ride to the DA's office. Call a taxi.
Earl! Earl! Where is he?
You can find him in a year or so, maybe. Let's go.
Have you ever been arrested before, Jean?
Why, no, of course not.
Just about time they caught up with you.
This is out of your hands, Felton. Where are you from, Jean?
Why, I live right here.
With your folks?
My folks. I have no folks.
Like Topsy, she just growed.
If you can't keep quiet, Felton, you'll have to wait outside.
I don't see any reason for this nonsense. She stole my money, you found it in her bag. Now, why don't you clap her in jail where she belongs?
Get him out of here.
All I'm interested in is getting my money back. Now, when do I get it?
When the law says it's yours.
All right, you better make up your mind and make it up fast that it is mine. You've got it, and you know it's mine.
You still insist you know nothing about his wealth. According to your deposition, you met this Earl Williams while you were in an amateur play. He said he was an agent. After that, he took you to several shows.
That's right.
You saw him frequently. And then a few days ago, he called and asked you to go out with him and Mr. Felton.
Yes.
Do you know where Williams lives?
No.
If you tell me, it'll make it much easier for you.
But I don't know where he lives.
You've never been to his apartment?
Of course not.
Jean, do you know what it's like in a women's prison? Don't let the flower beds and lace curtains fool you. It's not a boarding school. It's grim and lonesome. The monotony of the four walls will turn your nerves inside out.
I didn't steal that wallet.
Pickpocketing is a serious offense. And even if it's your first offense, it'll take you a year to get out with good behavior. It's not what it does to your hands, the hard work. It's what it does to you inside.
Why can't you believe me?
Is your love for Earl Williams so great that he's worth shielding?
I hate him.
What did you get, Benson?
I went through her place and spoke to the landlady. She's only been there 2 months.
I see.
Another thing, there was a label on her suitcase, Connecticut, Ohio. And I brought this along. All her stuff had the same initials.
J.O. That doesn't sound like Jean Crail to me. What do you say, Jean?
I've nothing to say.
Okay. Check with the police at Connecticut, Benson. Find out everything you can about a girl answering her description, initials J.O. See if you can locate her family.
Wait a minute. I'll confess. I did take the wallet. I'll tell you whatever you want to know.
That's all, Benson. All right, Jones, take this down.
The limited, report to gate number 5. Please report to gate number 5.
Wait here, girls.
Hey, what's fighting you? They shouldn't keep us waiting out here like this.
It's Miss America. She thinks somebody's going to snap a picture for the paper.
Say, how come you didn't hit the front pages with your mugging gams?
Yeah.
Listen, you twerps. Lay off. Don't pay any attention to these cage-bound canaries.
Break it up. Break it up.
Matron, how about me and Puss here getting a cup of coffee while we're waiting, huh?
All right, make it snappy.
Oh, yeah.
I really didn't want a cup of coffee.
Well, you didn't want to be gawked at either.
Thanks.
Forget it. Java.
Hiya, kid.
This is Well, I better come.
You didn't think I'd let you leave without seeing you off, did you?
Well, it's still swell. This is Smiley. Jean here's hitting the trail this morning, too.
Yeah, what did they get you for, kid?
She rolled a sap. Smiley's the right guy, and a good connection to have on the outside.
Yeah, Gene, if ever you ever want anything done, well, just get in touch with me.
Oh, through me.
Oh, sure, baby, sure.
Yeah.
Train number 65, now ready at gate 7.
This is it.
Goodbye, baby.
You take care of this one, kid.
Here's where you can get in touch with me, Gene.
Let's go. That wasn't too bright.
Hello, Miss Marston. Hello. How are you? Brought you 11 this time.
Say, they give the joint a new job of paint since I've been away. I opened this place. You should have seen the old men's penitentiary. 100 women surrounded by 6,000 men.
Well, girls, this is as far as I go. Mrs. Marston, the head matron, will take charge of you now. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Bye, matron.
All right. Go ahead, please.
Next. Next. Next of kin. None.
You must have some relatives.
No.
We must have someone to notify in case of accident. What about some friends?
No, there's no one. All right. Next.
You gotta watch them every second. They'll get it that time. I could see it in the old wart's eye.
Get what?
The address of that guy you're taking the rap for. The guy you sent the letter to.
I'm not taking a rap for anybody.
You don't have to play dumb with me. I heard all about your case. You must be some man, huh?
You girls who are through, report to the hospital.
Hey, watch out who they try to cellmate you with. There's a lot of stools around here. Name?
Alice Argyle.
Okay. Okay. Next.
Name?
Well, look who's here. And filled out in the right places.
Freedom do that?
That's a good name for it.
Hello, Bernice. I heard you were coming.
Yeah. I got homesick.
Name? Jean Crail.
Okay.
Okay. Tried to snitch my lipstick.
Well, why don't you nail it down?
Name? Nancy Phillips.
Okay.
You mustn't let the prison frighten you. You'll be well treated here. And though I'm the doctor, don't feel you have to wait until you're ill to come and visit me.
Thank you. You're very kind.
Attention, girls. Mrs. Holt, the superintendent.
Girls, how you'll be treated here, and even the length of time you stay, depends entirely upon your conduct. For the length of your sentence is determined by your conduct record. By cheerfully abiding by prison rules and restrictions, you'll bring the day of your eventual release closer. Of our 3 dormitory buildings, only one has barred windows. Again, whether you live behind lace curtains or steel bars will be your own choice. It's now the recreation hour, and I'm going to let you go out into the yard where you'll meet the other inmates.
All right, girls. You've been given the privilege of the yard. See that you don't abuse it.
Come on, kid. Name?
Down your right.
I saw you talking to the Crail girl, Doctor. Another miscarriage of justice, I suppose. I haven't looked at her record, but I'm certain a girl like that is not a criminal. Someday, Doctor, you'll find out that the angel-faced ones are often the worst.
The doctor seemed nice.
Ah, she's okay. Don't let that soft soap fool you. They're all screws, and a screw will gap you that quick. Your real friends are over there now.
Look at what they dumped on us this time.
Listen, pig. One more crack out of you and I take your eye for a grape.
This is Bernice. She's a two-timer. Hiya, Bernice.
Hiya, Dixie. Harriet. Hi. You're still not particular about the company you keep, I see. Dixie's okay. Mighty handy with a hairpin or a nail file. You don't walk over there unless you've done something outstanding. That big blonde, Mabel, poisoned her third husband. Where's the pack? Come on, give me the pack. That's something for you to remember. Don't let any of these gulls get anything on you. They strip you clean. But that's blackmail. You didn't think it stopped at the gate. We got everything in here they got out there. Only in here we got no law to protect the dumb and the innocent. So the idea is, don't be innocent.
Hello, Bernice.
Hello there.
Oh, you're new here, aren't you? I'm Mother Fielding. Let's go over here and sit down on the bench. You're such a refined-looking girl. You belong to a good family.
Will I?
Don't answer, I can see you do. Do you want to see a picture of my son? There's a girl over in Building B. Assault with deadly weapon. She's a nice girl, too. I've been thinking of her for my daughter-in-law, but I like you so much better. Oh, Richard, what's a little snip, ain't you?
Hey, look at that! Hey, what is that thing crawling around up there?
They call it a man.
That's right. It's been so long since I saw one, I forgot.
Hey, what are them things he's wearing? Pads, remember? Oh, yeah!
Good night.
Good night. Oh, Bernice.
Ah, writing to the guy. I suppose you got it all figured out how you're gonna get that letter out of this place. A blind address ain't gonna fool us, Screws. They'll read between the lines. Anything you say.
You mean they open our letters, censor them?
Of course. Gee, that guy here sure believed in keeping you dumb, didn't he?
But I've got to get this letter out of here.
I know, kid. I know how you feel. But you can't use the front door. Even if you could fool us, Screws, one of the trustees in the mailroom would figure it out and pass it on. They're always laying for your kind.
Who?
Dames like Mabel. That's the way they blackmail pigeons, because all the little saps don't want their folks to know they're in prison.
That's horrible.
I know this ain't a pretty place. But there's some right people here, and they're in the right places to help you, if they trusted you.
Bernice, would you? I've got to get this letter to someone before...
I noticed that date you had circled. I wondered what it meant.
You'll talk to them?
I'll try. But I wouldn't get my hopes too high, kid.
When can you do it?
First chance I get. Probably in a couple of days.
I only have 2 weeks.
Bernice told me about you, kid. I went to bat for you, but it's no go. The others don't know you well enough to trust you.
Hey, Jean! Watch out! What's wrong?
What's the matter here?
I'm ill. The heat. I must see Dr. Warren.
All right, but you're to report back here. You, take over. Come in. What's the matter, Jean? Are you ill?
No, I'm not ill.
Yes, Jean.
I was wondering if you'd do something for me.
I'd like to if I can.
I've got to get a letter out of here before the 20th. I can't let it go through the mailroom or carry the prison postmark.
Why not, Jean?
I just can't, that's all.
And you want me to...
So give me your word you'll mail the letter outside the prison. And I'll open it or read it.
Well, you're asking me to break one of the strictest prison rules.
But you just said
Who's the letter to?
My father.
I'm sorry, Jean. You forget in your record you state that you have no parents. Jean?
Forget it. I was just testing you to see how far you'd go for me. And now I know. Get out of here, even if it's just for one day.
I know how it is, kid. We all feel that way sometimes, but there's no percentage in it. You're bound to get picked up.
I wouldn't care afterwards.
Look at Jean. To break out of this hen coop isn't the hardest thing in the world. But it wasn't because the state ran out of dough they didn't put bars on them windows.
I wouldn't care what happens later. For just one day now.
And I thought I was sunk on Smiley.
Well, what is it?
There's talk of a break.
Who? When?
I don't know. I couldn't find out.
Would you like to go back to solitary?
No.
All right, then, find out. Place a double guard on Alma in the detention building.
You're starting the death watch rather early. I'm not due to hang for another month.
We didn't want you to get lonesome, Alma.
Oh, double guards all the time. You think the state can afford it?
How about a song, Harriet?
Oh, no.
Yeah, come on.
There's a man in my life crazy about me, a man in my life. He never doubts me, and in every letter that I read, he keeps saying he's lonely, missing me only, and that's all I need. He's the guy that I love, just mad about.
Take it easy, kid. Everything's set. It'll start in a minute.
Can't do without him, and until I'm in his arms again, oh, I gotta keep living for the man in my life.
girls join the others. Looks like they're going to have some fun.
Just want to finish his story, and we'll join him in a minute.
All right.
Oh, I gotta keep living for the man in my life. The man in my life, crazy about me, a man in my life.
Now's the time. You'll find a hat and coat in the cupboard. Good luck, kid. He must be some man.
He's the guy that I love, just mad about him, but keep thinking love, can't do without him, and until I meet him once again. Oh, I gotta keep living for the man in my
Now listen, Bernice, it won't do you a bit of good to lie. We are bound to uncover the whole thing.
I tell you, I was with the other girls in the living room. I don't know a thing.
The whole prison year break was coming. You roomed with her, you must have known.
She never confided in me.
Take her out. You must have been expecting something, or you wouldn't have put a double guard on Alma's cell. Sometimes I think you place too much importance on information from unreliable sources. This is the superintendent of the women's prison. One of our girls has escaped. Jean Crail, age 22.
Calling all patrol cars. Watch for a young girl, light brown hair, wearing a yellow print dress. All highway patrol cars.
She knows you can't dress yourself. She ought to be here.
We can't expect that, Agnes. She said in her letter her new position was taking her out of the city.
Her letter. One letter in 2 months. When I think of the times I've sat down and baked ginger cookies for her, and now she can't write us.
What have you been baking this morning?
Ginger cookies?
You know none of the faculty like them.
I'm not baking them for the faculty.
Then you do think she's coming?
Of course she's coming. If she weren't, she would have written or wired us.
So that's what the well-dressed college president will wear.
Ginger!
Dad!
I knew you were coming. But I'm not speaking to you. Look at those clothes. What on earth have you been through?
Standing room only on a bus that broke down 6 times. If it hadn't been for a good Samaritan truck driver, I wouldn't be here yet. But don't worry about me. I'll be scrubbed and dressed before the Board of Regents find their chairs. Oh, Dad, that tie.
Your mother always did that.
Oh.
They're at the gate.
Oh, Dad, your cap.
Oh, yes, and speech. How do you do, gentlemen?
Hello, Professor. Shall we go?
Yes, indeed.
And as we go on our journey in these Athenian globes of learning, I can think of no better precept to follow in the search for knowledge than that of the Delphic oracle, turn every stone. The roof of the first college was the Grecian tree.
She's back.
That shaded some ragged
Everybody
Athenian
said she wouldn't be here.
and some of his pupils from the sun. And the worth of that first college was not measured by the size of the tree, but by the
How long will this go on?
The last time this university installed a new president, the ceremonies took 5 hours.
Mm-hmm. I'm afraid I can't wait that long.
For the true greatness of any college rests in the worth of the men who comprise its faculty and statue of the man who heads it. Today we are once again gathered in the old tradition to honor a man. It is my privilege to give you the new president of Armstrong College, your own Professor O'Neill.
tell me he bribed them all by promising them passing grades.
Bart, how did you...
I gotta get you out of here and talk to you.
But, Bart, that's impossible.
There'll be a scandal if you don't.
Fellow faculty members, alumni and students of Armstrong College.
What do you mean, a scandal? How did you get Mr. Bascom's chair?
Was that Adolph Bascom?
Yes.
The Bascom that gave Bascom Hall to the college?
Yes.
Well, there's your scandal.
Bart, what did you do?
I merely tested an old theory of mine. All of us are hiding some guilty act in our deep-buried past that we're afraid may catch up with us.
And Mr. Bascom?
Well, I don't know whether he's a bigamist or a bank robber. All I did was touch him on the shoulder and whisper, "Beat it, they're looking for you."
And he beat it?
Yes. What's the matter? Someone tap you on the shoulder?
Why, no. Why do you say that?
Well,
I've got to get back.
But why?
I can't miss Father's speech.
Oh, you know it by heart.
But You don't know what it means to be free of Mr. Bascom's regents, chancellors, and all the other boogeymen of a professor's daughter's life.
All the time you've been talking, I've been thinking. You've told me a dozen reasons why you like this job of yours, but none of them have anything to do with the job. You must hate it.
If I did, you think I'd keep it?
You bet you would. You're just that stubborn. Ginger, forgetting all this talk about a job and a career, haven't you missed a good dependable shoulder to lean against?
Bart, please don't try to break me down.
Why?
Well, it might be too easy.
If you think I'll ever let you get away from me again, you're crazy.
The reception. I'm hostess.
Tonight.
I should spend it with Father.
Then tomorrow. And I want the whole day. I'll pick you up for tennis at 10. We'll have lunch
But I thought you had a case in court.
You're my case. Tomorrow and for the rest of my life.
It's so wonderful being home again. I would have missed this day for anything in the world.
He should have been president 15 years ago.
I'm so glad you're back, Ginger. I need you to run the house for me. Agnes gets testier every year. As president, I'll have to entertain more. And for once, we'll be able to afford it.
I can't stay, Father. In fact, I have to go back tonight.
I hoped you could stay longer, but now you can tell them and then really come back to stay. Don't you want to?
Oh, it isn't that I don't want to. For I do more than anything in the world. It's just that, well, when I accepted this new job, I promised I would stay for a year.
I'd like to know what sort of job it is that keeps a girl from even writing her father.
It was only the last 2 months. Before that, Ginger wrote every week.
I promised to write more often from now on. It was just that, well, at first the work was very difficult.
Doesn't Barton Sturgis expect to see you tomorrow? He won't like your running out on him like this.
I'll write to him.
Ginger, when you were a little girl, before we lost your mother, you used to come to me with all your troubles. The students, they've come to serenade us. They came this way to serenade your mother when I first brought her here.
She would have been very proud of you today. The third assistant instructor she married, president of Armstrong College.
What would have made her really proud is you. I wished all day she could have been here to see you.
Could I rent a box, please?
40 cents a month.
I'd like to rent it for a year.
Name, please?
Jeanette O'Neill, or Ginger. That's my nickname.
Oh. That will be $4.80. And the number of your box will be 615. I'll show it to you.
Thank you. Here's your receipt and your change. And your box. I was wondering if you'd do a very great favor for me. I'd like these letters mailed one at a time, every other week.
Why, that's most unusual.
They're for my father.
Well, I really shouldn't.
I won't be able to write to him. Well, I wouldn't want him to worry about me.
All right. I'll do it.
Oh, thank you. They're numbered so you'll know in what order to send them.
Is it Miss or Mrs.?
Miss.
Hey, the Crayo kid's back.
Yeah.
They got her in solitary.
Where'd they catch her?
They didn't. She came back on her own.
Yeah, what was the idea of that?
Yeah, she said she only wanted one day with him.
I don't get it. If I thought enough of a guy to break out of this clink for him, I'd want more than one day.
All depend upon the day, wouldn't it?
Boy, you should have seen her clothes when they brought her in. Oh, that guy really put out for her.
Yeah, well, why shouldn't he? She's up here because she covered up for him.
Come in. Sit down. Jean, the last time you came to me, I made a grave mistake in not believing you. Now you're making a greater mistake in not trusting me. When the prison board meets, unless you tell them the truth of why you're here and why you had to break out, you'll not get the minimum sentence as you expect. You'll get 3 years. The head matron will see to that.
I returned voluntarily. I'm keeping the rules.
I know, Jean, and I'm going to do as much as I can for you, but I'm only the doctor. Even in seeing you, I may be harming you.
Then why did you ask to see me?
Because I feel responsible for what has happened. I should have understood how important that letter was to you and believed you.
And you believe it now?
I do.
Well, you're wrong. Dead wrong. That letter wasn't for my father. I haven't even got a father.
You're not fooling me, Jean. You came to this prison in the first place to protect him.
Where did you hear that?
Don't worry, Jean. I've nothing to prove it, but I know it. You've got to let me help you.
You can't trust a screw.
That's the prison talking. You see, it's already poisoning you.
May I go now?
Yes.
Alma in detention didn't get a reprieve. We gotta work fast if we're gonna help.
Dixie, I gotta keep my nose clean. I graduate next week.
That's why it's gotta be you.
I wouldn't brood about it, Alma. Your reprieve may still come through.
I wasn't thinking of that. I never do. So the reprieve doesn't come. We all have got to go sooner or later. No, it isn't that that bothers me. It makes me feel like my guts are being twisted.
It isn't her again, Alma.
Yeah. It's knowing that all the time he was spending the money I was earning on some cheap blonde. It's trying to figure out who she was. Thinking that they're together right now. Laughing at me. While I'm in here.
She may not know about it, Alma. Well, he's probably never even told her about you.
What difference does it make whether they told her or not? Did it make any difference to me? I didn't intend to kill the Dick. I was laying for him and her. And the Dick walked in, so I gave it to him instead. They're going to hang me for it. Hanging would be too good for her!
Alma stalking the blonde that got her guy again? May gets out today. She wants to take our picture for her memory book. She'll take over for you.
Right over here, please. This'll be lovely.
That's swell. I'd like to take another one a little closer, please. Thank you so much. What's the matter, Bernice?
Oh, it's those dames playing. No, it isn't. Smiley. How can you be sure of a guy?
That's easy. By not thinking that way about him.
Now, what can I think about Smiley? He's a chaser. I knew it when I fell for him.
But you fell for him.
Yeah, I fell for him. And all the time, I knew he was cheating on some other dame to be with me. It's like he's doing with me now.
But you don't know that. And you shouldn't allow yourself to believe it.
Am I getting you straight? Are you really trying to tell me you believe that way about this guy of yours?
If I didn't, I couldn't go on.
You can fall for a rat like this Williams guy. You can even take a rap for him. But you never can believe in him.
It never was Williams.
What's this all about? Hey, you broke out to see some other guy?
Yes, I saw some other guy. But that wasn't the reason I broke out.
Listen, we're roomies. No, you ain't exactly what I'd pick out. We done all right together. Somebody's got to talk to you, and I guess I'm elected. If you don't come clean with somebody, and quick, you're going to find yourself in this scratch house another 2 years.
I know.
Then why didn't you let him know?
I couldn't.
Why not?
Because he doesn't know about this.
I guess that, and you're afraid to tell him. This thing you were trying to sell me, faith, that works two ways. He either believes in you or he doesn't, and if he doesn't, it's better to know now.
I just couldn't let him know. Or anyone else.
Now, aren't you dealing him a shorthand? Women. Now we're all crazy.
Where's the Stanley Drover affidavit?
It's on your desk right now. You just pulled it out of your briefcase.
Oh, yes. What are you grinning at?
Before you go gallivanting off with another young woman, here's one who seems to think she has a prior claim.
What's this gallivanting stuff? You know I'm going to Rock City on the Stanley Drover case.
That's tried to tell Professor O'Neill's housekeeper, but she seems to think you're going to see his daughter. Or maybe she left that box of cookies for you.
Well, Miss O'Neill is at Mountain View, and it's right on the way back.
Not more than 80 miles out of the way.
If Jean Crail means anything to you, you'd better get up here and quick. She needs your help. Bernice Myers. P.S. Don't tell her I told you. Passed by censor, Women's State Prison. Say, what is this? Did we ever defend a Jean, Crail?
If we did, there's no record of it in our files.
Yeah. No, never mind.
Don't you want me to answer it?
I certainly don't. If I've got a past I don't know anything about, I'll rake it up myself.
That's how lawyers get in trouble. Give my best to Miss O'Neill. And the cookies. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
There's a kitchen knife missing. Line up, girls. Until this knife is found, all privileges for the kitchen force are revoked.
Jean, get this to Bernice.
I'd give this to you.
Attention, girls. Superintendent.
I want everybody to go back to their own quarters. Inspect every room. Well, go on, girls. Go ahead, Mrs. Walker. All right, girls, take off your clothes.
I beg your pardon. Where's the postmaster?
I'm the postmaster.
Oh, I see. Would you by any chance know a young lady by the name of Ginger O'Neill?
Well, I won't exactly say that I know her, but she gets her mail here. Or I'd be more correct to say her mail comes here.
I'm afraid I don't understand.
Well, neither do I. She seems such a nice girl.
She's all of that.
Well, she rented a post box, and mail has been coming for her, but she's never been back to pick it up. This is hers, the full one.
Oh, yes. I wonder if I could look at that mail. I've written several letters to her, but I haven't heard from her. I'd just like to know if she's been receiving my mail.
Oh, I couldn't do that. It wouldn't be regular. I could look for you, though.
Thanks. The name is Sturgis. It'll be written on the back.
Oh, yes. Here's one.
There should be several.
Oh, there are two more.
You say that since she first rented the box, she hasn't been back to pick up her mail?
No, she hasn't.
Well, that's odd, because she's answered several of those letters from her father. Strange her answering mail she never received, isn't it?
Well, I wouldn't know about that.
It is odd, though, you'll admit.
Young man, I don't know what your game is, but you'll not get any more information here.
What about it? They're watching too close. Listen, you're turning yellow. Get that knife through to her. The time's getting short.
Maybe tonight.
No, maybe about it. Tonight.
What's the matter, Bernice? Are you ill?
Watch it. Oh, Jean. There's a visitor to see you.
A visitor to see me? But there must be some mistake. There can't be.
Are you coming?
Yes.
What you want Jean for?
She's got a visitor. It's him, the guy she took the rap for. He's hot. He wouldn't dare come here.
Maybe the heat's off.
She broke out to see him, and now he's risking everything to see her. That ain't who she broke out for. I gotta get a gander at this one.
the Quail girl.
You wish to see me?
Remember me?
You may sit down.
Kind of surprised you, didn't I?
Well, yes. For a second, I thought you came to see me.
You thought right.
Is there something you want me to do for Bernice?
You know, you'll be getting out of here in a couple of months.
Yes, but Bernice will be...
We'll be here for a long time. You know, I've been thinking about you a lot lately. You'll be needing a friend on the outside. It's something in mind that would work out swell for both of us.
Well, where do you think you're going?
Hospital. I gotta see the doctor. Earache.
All right. Come along, Bernice.
I think you better tell the matron you've made a mistake. That you want to see Bernice.
Listen, get smart. I took a big chance coming here to see you. And I don't mean Bernice either.
Matron, I'm ready to go back.
Yes?
I'd like to see Jean Crail.
Jean Creel's had one visitor today. I'll see if the superintendent will allow her another. Are you a relative?
No, attorney.
If you'll just sit down and wait.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming, Mr. Gordon. The rules allow you to see Miss Crail again in 30 days.
Thanks. I'll be back.
What have you got to say, you dirty double-crossing sneak? Bernice, I didn't know. It was Smiley. If I'd known, I wouldn't have seen you.
Of course you didn't, because you told him never to come here. Afraid I'd find out.
Bernice, you've got to believe me. It isn't at all like you think.
Well, your fairy tale won't work this time.
Bernice are sure at it.
Why? What happened? The fellow that came to see Jean was Bernice's guy.
Well, how do you know? Did you see him? No, but Bernice saw them together in the visitor's room, and you should have seen the door was open.
What's this about the knife?
I saw it when I heard the fight.
I want that knife, and I also want to know which one of you got it out of the kitchen. You'll talk after a few days in solitary.
Oh, no,
You haven't forgotten solitary. Well, then, tell me how you got that knife. I imagine you'll be glad to talk, Bernice. Not content with stealing your man, she pulled a knife on you.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Go over this room with a fine-tooth comb. I want that knife found.
You're a two-time loser, Bernice. If you don't talk, you know where this will put you. Dying for a cigarette, aren't you? Did you ever think that if you don't talk, she may get out of here in a few months? She'll not only be able to smoke cigarettes whenever she wants to, but she'll be with him. Oh, I can just see them at some nightclub. She's wearing a black satin dress. There's a flower in her hair. Flower that he bought for her.
Shut up.
Have a cigarette, Bernice. Go on, take one. And smoke it while you tell me just exactly how that knife got out of the kitchen.
She took it.
How?
when she brought the dish towels in from the laundry. You gotta protect me. They'll kill me out in the yard now.
Don't worry, Bernice. You don't have to go in the yard anymore. Where's the knife now?
I don't know. She hid it someplace.
She couldn't hide it without you seeing her. Where is it?
I tell you, I didn't see it. Maybe she threw it out the window.
All right, Bernice. You've told us enough this time.
You won't let him get me.
Mrs. Holt, this is Mr. Sturgis. He came to see Jean Crail.
How do you do?
How do you do? Well?
I don't understand all this. One minute they have me waiting for her, and the next they say no one's allowed to see her.
Just what is your connection with this girl?
Well, frankly, I don't know if I have any. I thought it was her attorney, but I'm not even sure I know the girl.
Will this help you?
Jean Crail. Pickpocketing.
I'm sorry. I'm afraid it'll be some time before prison rules will permit anyone to see her.
But what has she done?
What hasn't she done? I'm afraid your client's incorrigible. She stole a knife, tried to use it on a fellow inmate.
Mrs. Holt, there must be some mistake. This girl wouldn't...
I don't think there's any mistake. Jean Crail's been troublesome ever since she's been here. She's the type of person to whom discipline means nothing. She stole another inmate's man and even broke out of here to meet him.
She broke out of prison?
I can understand your shock. Her record here is far from encouraging, even from a lawyer's viewpoint. And now, if you'll excuse me, Dr. Warren will tell you what she can.
Well, Doctor?
First, let me tell you, I don't believe she escaped to see this man. A few days before, she asked me to get a letter out. She said it was to her father.
She told you that?
I didn't believe her then, but now I'm...
When was that?
About 2 months ago.
Then she wasn't lying. That's when I saw her.
You saw her?
Certainly. Dr. Warren, this girl is innocent of these charges. I'm sure of that now.
She pleaded guilty.
For only one reason. She was trying to shield someone else. The newspaper publicity would have killed him.
Then it was her father.
Yes. And we've got to help her keep her secret.
I understand. I don't think she'll have any worry on my account.
Thanks.
Make up the bed.
Who's moving in?
Bernice.
Yeah, who'd she kill?
Nothing like that. Put it there.
What's the idea of her getting all that fancy furniture?
That's the way they treat squealers around here.
Another word out of you and you will lose all your privileges.
Well, what is she going to do? Open up an art gallery?
That's the goon the hair pulling was all about.
You heard him. They'll kill me.
They won't kill you, Bernice. There are 2 barred doors between you and the yard. Hello, Bernice.
Hello, Alma.
It'll be nice to have something human around here to yap with.
Yeah.
I had all your personal belongings brought over. You can fix up your cell anywhere you like. Don't forget the prison pennant.
Jean, it's no use telling any more lies. What have you done with that knife?
This girl has had all the questioning she can stand.
Jean, I must keep you here until you tell me where you hid that knife.
I don't know where it is.
But you stole it from the kitchen.
No, I didn't.
Let me take over. I'll get it out of her. She's ill. She can't remain here.
Until that knife's found, she must be confined. Take her to detention and keep her under strict guard.
Bernice.
Bernice, you've got to believe me. There was nothing between Smiley and me. I know how you feel because I...
So that's the dame that double-crossed you.
Alma, if you don't stop that, we'll move you.
You can't for 11 days. And then the state's attending to it. How does it feel, Bernice, to have the little sneak that stole your man so close to you? So close you can hear breathe, but you can't get your hands on her throat.
Listen, you gallows hag. Lay off of me.
How does it feel? Doesn't feel so good, does it?
You want me to send for the doctor and have her bring you a sedative?
Hey, Dixie! Get out!
Hey, they've stuck the kid in detention. If Elma has to use the knife, it'll mean curtains for Jean.
The kid'll just have to keep out of this.
How can she if they've got her in detention?
The Sawbones likes her. Maybe we can get her transferred to the hospital.
Well, how are you going to do that without tipping everything off?
Yeah, I guess it would. Well, then it's just the kid's hard luck.
I tell you, you're wrong. I know this girl's character and background.
If you'll just...
And the idea that she stole this man Felton's wallet is preposterous.
You don't know what you're talking
Yes,
about.
I know. You're going to tell me she pled guilty.
I wasn't going to say that at all.
Who is this Earl Williams? Have you ever been able to get a line on him? Have the police ever located him? No.
Yes, they have.
They have?
The police picked him up a couple of days ago with another girl, pulling the same racket. Now that you've calmed down, I'm going to tell you something. By this time tomorrow, there'll be a full pardon for Jean Crail.
I don't know what to say.
I would say that you've said more than enough.
I'm genuinely sorry, sir.
Well, if you drive as fast as you talked, you might get there before they put the lights out.
Thanks, and goodbye.
Yes. Uh-huh. Oh, that's fine. The governor's secretary said it was signed this evening and it's on its way here.
Oh, swell.
If you think you could sit down, I'd be glad to have you wait here.
Yes, all right. Oh, cigarette?
No, thank you. I don't smoke.
A doctor?
No, thank you.
Oh, what's the matter, Alma?
I don't know. Call the doctor.
Will you let me out, please? You locate Dr. Warren.
Yes.
Oh, Mrs. Holt, will you send Dr. Warren to detention at once? Alma's ill.
All right. Dr. Warren, Alma's ill. Will you go to detention?
And while I'm over there, I'll tell Jean the good news, if I may.
Thanks.
And don't worry. It'll only be a short time now. Oh, Doctor. What's the trouble, Alma?
Oh, I had a sudden sharp pain. But it's gone now.
I'd better look you over.
No, I'm all right now. Everything's all right now.
Try to get some rest. Nerves. It always gets them toward the end. I want to wake the Crail girl. A full pardon's on the way for her.
Oh, that's fine.
Jean? Jean?
Yes?
Prepare yourself for good news, Jean. Barton Sturgis is here.
Bart, here?
And the governor signed a pardon for you. Doctor! Doctor, come quick! She's dead.
Yes. Yes, that's all right. Bring her in. Of course, you understand, Mr. Sturgis, that when the authorities come back, I'll have to surrender the girl.
Oh, Bart, how I wanted this. Bart, how did you find me?
We haven't got time for that now, dearest. Who killed her? You've got to tell me.
But I don't know.
But you've got to know. Your pardon won't do any good now. Don't you see what you're up against? A girl was murdered in the cell next to yours, with a knife she accused you of having. You fought with her a few days before.
But that quarrel was just...
It doesn't matter what it was about. The fact is you fought with her. Can't you see that gives them all the motive they need?
You say the cell doors were all locked?
Certainly.
Then it's an open and shut case. The only one that could have done it is the girl in the next cell, Jean Creel. When you went to the telephone, she called the victim over and stabbed her through those bars.
Got it all wrapped up, eh, Sheriff? Thought you might be interested in this.
Where did you get this?
Bernice tossed it to me, just after she killed herself. Kind of blows your case against the kid sky high, doesn't it? You know, I don't think I'll be able to keep that appointment I've got with the state 3 days from now. It ought to take you about a year to figure out how I got that knife. How I got out of this rat cage and back, while Star Eyes there was at the telephone.
Until we find who stole and smuggled that knife into detention, all privileges of every inmate of this prison are suspended. Right turn. Mark.
I still can't figure it out why, when she had the coast clear, she didn't land, but stayed and stuck the pig.
Remember the reason she wanted to get out of here?
You mean to get the dame who two-timed her with her husband?
Well, she found out she didn't have to get out. That guy, Smiley, was her husband.
And Bernice was the dame she was looking for all the time.
Someday I'm going to murder somebody. A guy that invented love.
Oh. Why, it's Miss O'Neill, isn't it?
Yes. Your box was so full, I had to keep some under here. And I posted those letters one by one as you asked me to.
Oh, you've been very kind. You don't know how much you've helped me.
Oh, yes, I do. I know more than you think.
You do?
Yes. Now, woman to woman. It isn't Miss. It's Mrs., isn't it?
Why, yes.
And it isn't Mrs. O'Neill. It's Mrs. Barton Sturgis, isn't it?
Why, yes, but how could you know?
Your husband was up here last month looking for you. But don't worry. He doesn't know a thing. I don't blame you one bit. I know how it is to be married to a suspicious brute you don't love.
Let me see these letters. Mm-hmm. I thought so. Another man.
Oh, but darling, let me explain.
Explain never.
Oh, but darling, please let me explain. You don't understand.